back to the art room and welcome back to my table. I have my paper ready and I've got some crayons and some markers. We're going to be using those two things today. We are going to be making a really beautiful spring inspired bunny rabbit picture. And today we are going to be making the background behind our bunny, and we're going to be filling it with beautiful flowers. The flowers can be drawn any way that you like, but I'm going to show you a few little tricks and things, some maybe different kinds of flowers, and you can use what you like or come up with your own. So we're going to just draw straight on our papers using our markers and crayons. If you feel more comfortable drawing with a pencil first, by all means go right ahead and do that, but I'm going to just kind of start right here. I'm going to do the most simple kind of flower that pretty much everybody knows how to do, and start with just a colored circle for the center of my flower. And then I am going to flip to a new color crayon, and I'm just going to make bumps around the outside for my petals, and then I'm going to color those in. Now, you can get really creative with how you want to color your petals. You can leave some of the paper white, like I am here, because sometimes flowers have different colors on their petals. So I'm going to get a little fancy and just leave the tips of my petals white. And then for the next flower, I think I'm going to use some blue. Another shape of flower that you could use is one that just has those bumps that meet right in the center. And that one I'm going to color in. We're going to use that little water trick with our markers today. So I'll show you that in a minute after I get some of this colored. So I'm going to add a few of these little blue flowers kind of scattered around. Our bunny rabbit's going to go in the center of our picture, so I want to kind of concentrate the flowers to the outside edges and the top. Our bunny is going to actually be a close-up view of his face, so he's going to cover in the center part here. You can put some flowers in the center, but you don't want to put them all in there and then have it get all covered up. So you want to kind of concentrate it to the outside edges. So I'm going to do 3 of these flowers here, and then I'm going to switch, and maybe I'll go back and do another one of those little purple flowers down here. Another kind of spring flower that you might have seen is the tulip. And the easiest way to draw a tulip is to make, don't use a marker that don't work though. Goodbye. Try this again. Well, now I'm 0 for 2. Let's try this one. Ding, 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 yay, I got one that works. All right, so to make a tulip, I'm gonna make a U shape, and then I'm gonna close the top with a zigzag, and then I can just fill that flower shape in. And I'm gonna put a few of those here and there too. Maybe I'll put one up here. All right, so now we can get a little fancy. Let's try, I'm gonna use a crayon for this one. This one's, I'm gonna combine crayon and marker. So this one, I'm gonna do a little circle, and then I'm gonna do some straight lines, just like that. And then I'm gonna go back with a marker, and I'm gonna add some petals in between. And all I'm doing is just some oval shapes, kind of like that. And then I'm gonna do some more ovals around the crayon. And I'm gonna color a little bit in there too. Just like that. Maybe I'll do another one down here. some circles. And I'm gonna start with a yellow dot, and then I'm gonna do a circle and then another circle, and I'm gonna do the same thing. I'll put one down here too. So kind of like a bullseye. And then in between those, I'm gonna do some colors. And this is a little different kind of flower. And then let's use another orange. Kind of reminds me of a marigold a little bit. And I'm going to do another orange, little tiny, almost like zigzags kind of around the outside. It's like a little fireball sun. I like that. All right, I've got some room for a few more. Let's do some little pink flowers. Now for the little tiny flowers, I'm doing little tiny circles just like that, and they're kind of clustered together. So I'm gonna do like 3 there, and then maybe I'll do 3 here. Or however many you want, really. And I'm gonna start to try to fill in some of my empty spots. And I'm gonna kind of work my way towards the middle. Oh boy, it's looking like a spring garden already. These are almost like little stars, kind of. Let's see. Another kind of flower that we could do is, let's use this color, I didn't use this one yet, is sort of a little circle, and then it's got sort of like little spokes. Those flowers that have the really skinny little petals, and this marker is kind of dry, so I don't want to use that one. Let's see if I get a different. Ooh, that's better. So I'm going to put a couple of those in there, little dot, and then you just kind of go around that circle, pulling lines out. Personal favorite flower is a daisy, so I'm going to do a little brown dot, and maybe I'll put one here and one here, and then I'm going to do yellow petals, and those are kind of long and skinny petals, sort of like that. And there are different color daisies. I know there are some that have white petals, but since we're working on white paper, it doesn't make much sense to do that, so let's do it this way. So now we need to start putting in the stems for these flowers, because flowers need stems, they don't just grow. So this is going to be sort of, you just kind of pick a color. I'm using this light green for some of these, and I'm not like connecting them all together. I'm just kind of pulling them down to the bottom. You don't have to worry about like making the whole stem. You can add leaves on the stems if you want them to have stems. Some of these little ones, I'm just kind of do sort of like little dashed lines, just to sort of hint that there's stems. And then I'm going to go back in with another, maybe a different color green, and I'll add a few more stems with this one. So it's kind of filling in it. So it looks more like a garden, sort of like a wildflower garden with beautiful beautiful colors everywhere. So I'm gonna go back through and just check and make sure that all my flowers have stems. And again, there's no right or wrong way to do this. You fill up your paper how you think it looks good. And then maybe I'll just add in just a few little curly cues just to kind of give it a little more interest. Remember, your bunny rabbit's gonna go here in the middle, so I wanna make sure that I do fill in some areas. I love it. Ooh, that's looking so pretty. I love it. It's already looking like a beautiful spring day. Okay, friends, so once we have this, we are going to, if you want to do this step, you can stop here if you're happy with it, or if you want to add a little softness to this, you can go ahead and grab your water cup with some plain water, and then we're going to get our paintbrush, and I will show you what you can do just to add a little more softness and some sort of springtime prettiness to this. All right, so I've got my water and my paintbrush, and I am going to start at the top, and where my marker is, I'm just gonna paint some water on top of it, and it will soften some of these because those markers that I used are the water-based ones. So I'm kind of just painting right over this, and you can kind of see how the colors pull off of there, and it kind of creates just a pretty background color to them. Obviously the crayon ones, that's not going to do anything. Only where you have the marker, you can soften it. So like the daisies, and I'm just painting, nothing very careful. I'm just kind of splashing water on it just to kind of pull the color off of the edges here. I think it's going to look cool with this one. Let's see if I can get that to blend a little bit. Yeah, that's pretty cool. And then I'm just going to finish up with the water on here, and you can go ahead and do that. If you would like to add some of your watercolor to it, you're welcome to do that too. You don't want to put too much water on it. You don't want your paper to get all soggy, but you can dip into like a blue and do like a pretty blue wash. Make sure that it's not super dark. You want to have a lot of water on your paintbrush, and you can kind of paint in some blue, and you can go over some of the crayon areas, and where your crayon is, it does that nice resist. So you can kind of add a little bit of extra color in there, maybe here in the center, because remember that bunny is going to go in the middle here, so I can add some soft color. So I'm going to finish painting this, and then I will show you what mine looks like when it's done. There it is. It's finished. I just added some blue in there. I didn't want to put too many other colors from the paint palette in there. I don't want to darken it up. I wanted to stay really beautiful, soft, and spring looking. So there is my finished flower bed. I hope that you had a lot of fun making this today. Remember, your flowers are gonna look a lot different than mine, and that's okay. I want yours to look different. So if you come up with other ideas, or you have some pictures of flowers that you wanna draw from, and use your imagination, create your own new flowers. That would be awesome. All right, so I'm gonna keep this and set this to the side. There's nothing to post on Art Sonia today. Next week, we will be working on the little bunny rabbit that's going to go in our beautiful spring garden. So keep this somewhere safe, and I will see you next week back here in the art room. Bye, friends.